Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors, episode 121.
Welcome to Life by Design, the podcast for chiropractors. Here's your host, Dr. Jamie Richards.
Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors. I'm your host, Dr. Jamie Richards. On today's episode, myself and Dr. Kreisho talk about how to use trolls to grow your practice. What do you do when people are saying bad things about your business, your practice? And really, you might think, well, nobody says bad things about my business or practice. In reality, if you're truly sharing a message, if you're taking a stand, if you're making a declaration, the truth is people are going to say bad things about your business and practice, and that's actually not a bad thing. And on today's episode, we talk about how to use that content to fuel more energy and passion and really more engagement in your business and practice, especially when it's done online. If you haven't checked out Life by Design for Chiropractors training camp, do that. We fired up a few extra spots as travel around the world is tough. So Canadian docs, if you're listening in, you haven't been to training camp or it's time to come back, get yourself there. It's the A to Z practice implementation of a retention-based practice model. So check that out in the show notes. Life by Design for Chiropractors. Kreisho, here we are back again. Life by Design for Chiropractors.
Like we never left.
It's like we never left. Same outfits, same sitting in the same offices.
They can see us now. We can't hide anymore.
I know. We can't pretend like it's a whole other day, a whole other week. So today we're talking about using trolls, internet trolls, to grow your practice. So I would say this is something that I think you have more experience than I do. People really like me, so I don't really have this problem, but no, just kidding. Maybe I'm too vanilla. Maybe that's the problem. And again, this is where we're saying is having trolls in your business and having people who are polarly opposite to your brand is actually a great thing. Like if people aren't hating on you, then, maybe what you're saying really isn't, having any kind of response for people.
Well, I mean, I think the first thing, I know your market and I know, not just you're in a small town. So it's not just your personal reputation, which is excellent. It's also your family's reputation. Your dad's done a lot for that community. Your mom's done a lot for that community. Your grandparents, right? Like, so it's hard to, you have a good reputation. You're actually kind of like, you're like the legacy brand already, right? Like your name is like legacy brand.
Right.
Whereas in a bigger market, most people don't know me. So yeah, you're right.
Right. You're kind of faceless, nameless in that sense. You're like, who's this guy saying this stuff? I don't know him, so I'm going to make a comment on his page.
Yeah, so there's a caveat to this. The caveat is you do not want to say dumb things, right? Like, so, the context that has been left out is, and this will add into the strength of the argument. So the post that got trolled was a thoracic mobility post. And it was part of our goodwill content, which means that there's no call to action, right? There's no download. There's no make an appointment. It's just, hey, you're experiencing some issues with thoracic mobility. Here's something that could help. End of story. Done. Right? So this guy comments, this is hilarious. Clearly he didn't even watch the video. Chiropractic, I'm surprised I didn't say chiropractics. Chiropractic is a hoax, right?
Right.
Or chiropractors are a hoax. And my comment back was, pretty sure I'm real. And I just left it at that. I'm pretty sure I'm real. And then he comments back. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's yeah. He's like, no, the practice of chiropractic. And then my comment back was respectfully disagree. Properly applied. It's excellent and beneficial. I go, but there's some, we're dealing with people. So there's people in the profession that aren't the best. And I left it at that,
right. Right.
And then other people started piping up, cause let's keep context in mind. So this guy who had misspelled words and was being rude on a video that wasn't selling anything. Right. So then other people start piping up, my chiropractor saved my life. I don't know what you're talking about. This guy has good content. Right. And it was just interesting how many people have liked, comment, and how the engagement has grown.
Right.
Because now people are clicking on the ad to see people responding to this person and to watch the drama. Everyone loves watching the drama. Right. So I'm just trying to stoke the fire in a way that is within my personality and within my value system. I could be a little bit more rude. That's not me. I don't want to be rude, but I also don't want to be a soft target because my point in telling you at the beginning that I posted goodwill content was twofold. Number one, it's goodwill content. It's not a post on, COVID-19 masks or or vaccines. Right. So and he is trolling me on goodwill content. So he looks like a complete moron.
Right.
To everybody.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking of, now that you say that, and I was just bringing up my Facebook ads account because, again, I may not get it here in time. But the point is, I had a post. It was not goodwill content in that sense, but it was, I guess that's not true. It was goodwill in a sense. It was our ad to drive people to our Facebook group.
Yep.
And this idea of, joining the drive to make Chatham-Kent the healthiest community in Canada. And hey, I put together this group and it's all free resources. And it's, all you need to do is just go to this page and we'll get you inside the group and it's going to be great and wonderful. It's been shared like 150 times. We've added like 600 people into the Facebook. It's crazy. It's probably my best performing ad ever. But yet, if you look at it, there's comments that are both good and bad. Right? People are like, oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited to get inside the group. Other people like, Chatham-Kent sucks. It's full of drug addicts. Like the craziest stuff that people comment about. You can't help Chatham-Kent. It's a lost cause. And so, of course, it's a great opportunity too for me, as you were saying, to chime in. And I've just stuck with the consistent message. All health starts with you. And no matter how bad the health is or how bad the community is, we can always make it better. And so I've just repeated that message over and over again, and it's got liked and liked and liked and shared. And go ahead.
Here's the thing. Here's the gold for this podcast. If this is the only thing you get from listening to us and having to look at our ugly mugs, then it's worth it. The point of commenting is not to try to shut down or prove yourself right to the troll. The point of commenting is to make yourself look good or to unveil your character to the neutrals who are reading all the comments.
Exactly. Can you just talk a bit more about that, Croatia? I think that, as you said, is the most important point.
Right. So, you're handling somebody who is coming here and making themselves on purpose look bad. Like they're getting some type of relief, or they're obviously benefiting from taking the time out of their day to try to post some smack on your content, right? And the fact that you're responding to that. So you're not a soft target, right? It's not like you're just letting it happen or you're going to take the ad down. No. You're stepping up to it and you're engaging that person in a conversation in a kind, professional manner.
Right.
It's going to be really appealing to the type of person that you want to attract into your practice and into your business, right?
Yep.
And people are always forever and ever going to be buying you before they buy your product or your service. So it's not like, you're going to get a troll now. This is so funny how chiropractors always think this stupid stuff. I'm not saying you're going to get new people from doing this, right? This isn't like, I'm going to get a troll and now I'm going to start commenting and all of a sudden all these new people are going to start calling my practice. No, you're going to position yourself as the person who some people are going to call when they're ready for a chiropractor based on the way that you're going to respond to these people.
And if you think about the way we've structured our marketing strategy, all of this organic content, the commenting, the brand positioning, this really leverages itself, or you get to leverage it when you start running some of your other ads, things that are your consult ad or things that are other lead magnets. So, people have read your comments and they've seen how you've handled other people, and all of a sudden pops up in their feed, when you're ready to schedule a case review, or, grab this $30 gift certificate for a towards a biostructural examination, when you're ready, or, you have the gift card one running, it could be a lead magnet, grab this posture guide. All of those things are positioning you as the one they're going to, I am ready to give this person my email address, or I am ready to, schedule a consultation with them. I am ready to take a cookie that they just offered to me.
Sure. Not to mention the fact that trolls provide excellent opportunity for entertaining and informative content creation. I've literally written like 3 to 5 emails talking about the principles of chiropractic, that have been well read and well received, based on these spiteful comments.
Well, and people are thinking, what do I create content on? That's a question we get a lot. What should I talk about? What should I comment on? And there's a lot of categories of creating content, but this is one of those categories. I know for, your emails and some of mine, we'll screenshot the actual comments and you put the image in there, you screenshot the comments, and then you have your little commentary, and people love it. As you said, you're entertaining people and you're nurturing them through our email sequences every day. And these are part of the conversations. As I said on last week's podcast, I said we've really tried to make this more conversational on purpose. And that's exactly the type of content that we're creating for our practices as well, as we're creating this conversational content. If you got together with your buddies, you would talk about it. You talk about the person who's trolling you on Facebook. Did you see that comment that guy put up on Facebook? That's crazy.
We did it for Life by Design for Chiropractors. We've already recorded a podcast.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you got it. So, guys, I think the message here is trolls are great. They're a great sign that you're creating a polarizing effect in your business. And as long as you're not saying anything crazy, right? Like it's a natural consequence of taking a stand.
Yes.
And declaring something like, I declare this is who I am. This is what our brand is about, but not necessarily in a negative sense, right? I'm not against this, against this, against this. Here's what I'm for. And people who are automatically against what you're for, some of those people will make comments. Some of those people will, troll you. But there's a lot of people who are listening who will never comment, but they're paying attention. They're either on the fence or they're already on your side. And that either strengthens your brand, or for those people who are neutral and they're looking for something to get behind and something to believe in, it's making it more clear for them that, that's a declaration that I can get behind. That's a statement that I can believe in as well. I love trolls. Trolls are fantastic.
Well, especially close it on this. Look at the environment in which we're in right now. Mm-hmm. Lies, deceit, mistrust. It's refreshing and brand building and business building to, be a person of integrity in 2020, right? So any opportunity you get, not to talk about it, not to talk about how you're a person of integrity, that's just ridiculous, but to give examples of that you are a person who stands for something and who has integrity, yep. During a time when, clearly, that integrity is, I don't know where or when, but it's not here.
Well, crazy. I think it was 2014 or 15. I remember a LifeCon, one of my talks, or at least part of one of my talks, was how authenticity is the new black. It's the new thing. It's the thing that's going to set you apart from everybody else. This was 5-6 years ago, and you don't need to manipulate people in your marketing. You don't need to trick them. You just need to be authentic and create, valuable, entertaining content for them, and then follow it up with an opportunity to work with you when they're ready. That's literally what marketing is. And there's a lot of pieces that go missing. It could be the entertaining side. It could be the brand positioning. It could be the expert positioning. It could be being likable. And sometimes it's simply just, you're not even making an offer. And I know that is a big, big part of it. I see a lot of people creating a lot of content. It's probably a different podcast, creating a lot of content and doing
We'll record that podcast next week.
That'll be next week's podcast. And today's like a marathon. It's like, how many podcasts can we create? Each episode comes up with like a new idea. We're like, all right, well, let's just record the next one while we're here.
Well, these idiots wear the same clothes every week. So there you go.
Well, that is actually true. Most days I have my uniform, which is my sweats and my Life by Design shirt, or my coach's shirt, or my Life by Design approved shirt. So, I've got.
What about your Bad Idea jeans? You got those on?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hopefully that was a great episode. We haven't launched any Bad Idea jeans today, but if we do, we'll put the stamp on that. So,
what? Swag, Bad Idea jeans.
Life by Design approved, Bad Idea jeans. I love it. Guys, check out today's episode. You can go to the show notes, Life by Design for Chiropractors /podcast. Find today's episode, click on it. And as always, thank you for listening to Life by Design for Chiropractors, the voice of reason in chiropractic.